In 2026, you could walk into almost any repair shop and hear the same sentence over and over. Not from a brand, not from an ad, from the people who open these machines for a living. Techs, parts departments, independent repair forums, and right-to-repair advocates keep warning about one shift. Appliances quietly moved from build it to last to build it to replace. And the most profitable part is not the failure. It's the way the failure is engineered to be unfixable. You have to think about how insane this sounds. In 1975, someone bought a refrigerator or a washer that was basically a metal tank with a motor. It was loud, it was simple, it was ugly, but it was honest. You could keep it alive for decades because when something wore out, you replaced that part and you kept moving. Today, you walk into a store, drop $1,200 on a premium washer with Wi-Fi and a glass door and 14 modes you will never use. And the brutal reality is this: when it fails, it often fails in a way that forces a replacement, not a repair. Why does a brand new washer sound like a jet engine after 2 years? Why does a fridge with a touchscreen die because of a tiny board? And why does a technician look you in the eye and tell you it's not worth fixing, like it's a law of nature? Today, we are exposing the sealed parts scam, the design trick that turns a $10 wear item into a $1,000 replacement purchase. And by the end, you will know the only 3 types of appliances worth buying with your money. If you walk into an appliance store today, you think you are choosing between dozens of competing brands and premium upgrades. You see Wi-Fi, touch screens, smart sensors, apps, notifications, voice control, and you assume all of that exists to make your life easier. That is the illusion. Want the fastest way to see through it? Right in the aisle? Do the 30-second test the showroom hates, grab the model number and search parts diagram or exploded view. If the common wear parts only exist inside huge sealed assemblies, walk away. You just audited the scam before the salesperson finishes the Wi-Fi pitch. In reality, every extra feature is another point of failure. Another board, another connector, another cable, another sensor, another thing that has to survive heat, or vibration, humidity, detergent, food spills, power surges, and time. And here's the bigger trick. When those parts fail, you are often not allowed to access them in a reasonable way. Old machines were built around an honest deal. Parts wear out, so parts should be replaceable. Belts, switches, bearings, simple timers. A repair was a normal event, not a funeral. Modern machines broke that deal. Not by forgetting how to build durable products, but by redesigning the inside so repair becomes physically difficult or economically insane. Not because it's better engineering, because it's better profit. The sealed parts scam has a name, even if no one prints it on the box. I call it the sealed module economy. Sealed assemblies, proprietary parts, and authorized only service pricing. It's not one company, it's a business model that spreads because it pays. It takes a high wear component, something guaranteed to fail eventually, and it hides it inside a sealed assembly. It replaces the screws with glue. It replaces access panels with welded plastic. It replaces a repairable subpart with a single module that costs hundreds. This one shift changes everything. It turns a small maintenance fix into a total loss event, and it forces you back into the showroom. And if you're thinking, okay, but why would companies do this? Because this model creates predictable repeat customers. Bordar repairable machine is a one-time sale plus some cheap parts over time. A sealed machine is a repeat sale. And here's the part most people miss. This does not require a secret meeting in a dark room. It's simpler. It's incentives. If it is cheaper to manufacture a sealed tub than a serviceable tub, they do it. If it reduces warranty claims in the first year, they do it. If it makes the official repair expensive enough that most people replace, they do it. Nobody has to say planned obsolescence out loud. The design does the talking, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's what this looks like in real life. A tech opens the back, finds the failed part in minutes, then points at the housing like it's a sealed vault. The part is cheap, he says, but it lives inside a welded module you're not meant to open. That's the whole game. The machine isn't dead. Access is. Now let's climb the ladder. 3 products. Same pattern, same trap. Number 1, the washing machine and the sealed tub trap. The drum spins on bearings. Bearings wear out. That's normal. That's physics. In older designs, when bearings wore out, you replaced them. You kept the machine. But in many modern designs, those bearings are locked inside the tub assembly. Not hard to reach, not a bit annoying, sealed, welded, treated like you are not supposed to open it. So when a small bearing fails, you cannot buy the bearing, you get quoted the entire tub assembly plus labor. The tech shows you the parts screen, not a bearing, a full tub assembly. The quote is $600 to $800 because the $20 wear item is trapped inside plastic that's been welded shut. You didn't lose a machine, you lost the right to reach the part. And this is where your brain short circuits, because the failure is small. The fix should be small, but the bill is massive. That is the moment you hear the sentence that defines the modern appliance era. It's not worth fixing. It is not an accident. It is not bad luck. It is the intended outcome of the design. And let me make this visual. Imagine you buy a $1,000 machine. One tiny part wears out, but that tiny part is trapped behind a plastic wall you were never meant to open. So instead of a $20 repair, you are forced into a $700 decision. The machine didn't die because it was impossible to keep alive. It died because access was removed. And the worst part is what happens next. That machine goes to a landfill because of one wear item, not because we lack technology, because we lack screws. And remember, at the end, I'll give you the 3 safest categories to buy, so you don't get trapped twice. Number 2, the smart fridge and the expensive failure cascade. Now we go to the kitchen. A refrigerator does not need Wi-Fi to keep food cold, but the industry sells smart fridges as a premium lifestyle product, and the premium price hides a premium failure mode. When the cooling system is controlled by sensitive boards, sensors, and displays, a small electronic problem can become a total shutdown, and the consumer experience is always the same. A screen glitches, a board fails, cooling stops, food is spoiled. Sometimes it's not even a big failure, a tiny sensor, a connector, a simple board glitch. But because the smart layer is the gatekeeper, the fridge acts dead. And you're staring at the spoiled food while you wait on a special order part. The quote is hundreds, and the parts may be special order or not available. So you didn't buy a better fridge, you bought a more fragile fridge with a bigger repair bill attached. Now here's the sneaky detail. Electronics hate 3 things: heat, moisture, and power spikes. A fridge produces all 3. You have warm air moving, humidity changes, defrost cycles, condensation, compressors kicking on and off, and power surges that happen when that motor starts. So when manufacturers add more boards, more displays, more sensors, they are stacking fragile components into a harsh environment. Now when the failure happens, you don't just lose a feature, you can lose the whole appliance, because the smart layer is often the gatekeeper for basic function. That is the scam. You pay extra for a smart, but smart becomes the single point of failure that kills dumb function. Number 3, the oven feature that kills the oven. Self-clean is marketed like luxury. Push a button, burn the mess away. But the temperatures used in self-clean are extreme. And the electronics in many ovens are not happy living through repeated extreme heat events. So what happens? The self-clean cycle stresses the control board and the nearby wiring, Over time, that heat can crack solder joints, but weaken connectors and cook components that were never meant to bake. And when it fails, the repair is often a board that costs a few $100s, or a board that is discontinued, or a board that is only sold as part of a larger assembly. A feature sold as convenience becomes a built-in shortcut to the appliance graveyard. Same pattern every time. A small failure becomes a big replacement decision because access and economics have been engineered against you. If you want even more proof that this is systemic, look at how the exact same strategy shows up everywhere. Dishwashers, hot steam, detergent, vibration. Then they hide pumps and heating elements inside sealed assemblies. One leak or one pump failure, and suddenly you are replacing a whole module. Dryers, cheap rollers, cheap idler pulleys, heat stress. The parts are small, but the labor and assembly pricing turns it into a replacement conversation. Microwaves, one component fails, and the repair quote approaches the price of a new unit. Most people replace because it is designed to be disposable at that point. Different products, same ending. Now here is the part that makes this model unstoppable. Most people don't buy appliances often. So they shop based on the surface, they touch the screen, they spin the knob, they open the door, they get sold a story. Premium, smart, efficient, modern, but none of that tells you the one thing that matters. Can you keep it alive? Because repairability is invisible in a showroom. You cannot see sealed bearings. So you do what any normal person does. You assume the expensive one is the better one. And the industry loves that assumption. At this point, people say, okay, but warranty will protect me. Here's the problem. Warranty often protects the manufacturer more than it protects you. Because the experience usually looks like this. You report the issue. You get routed through approvals. You wait for a tech slot. The tech confirms a sealed assembly problem. The part is back-ordered. The quote climbs, and time does the rest. Meanwhile, you're living without the appliance. You're paying to store food somewhere else. You're paying for laundromats. You're eating delivery because your oven is dead. And you're getting pushed toward the simplest solution, which is buying new. The sealed module economy is not just about failure. It's about forcing the path of least resistance to be replacement. And the most brutal detail is this. Even when the manufacturer covers a part, you often still pay for time, inconvenience, lost food, and lost weeks. You lose value even when you win. When a technician says not worth fixing, it sounds like personal advice, but it is usually math. But if a sealed module costs us $400, labor costs us $300, and the machine is already out of warranty, you're staring at $700. At that point, many people think, I'll put that money toward a new one. And that decision is what the design was built to trigger. This is why the sealed module economy is so powerful. It turns repairs into replacement decisions using pricing, assemblies, and access. It doesn't have to be illegal to be predatory. It just has to be profitable. Also, what can you actually buy? You do not need a 40-brand shopping list. You need rules, simple rules, like a checklist. Because the auditor mindset is different. A consumer asks, what features do I get? An auditor asks, what fails and what does it cost when it fails? That one question changes everything. The safest appliance in 2026 is usually the dumb one. No screen, no Wi-Fi, no app, no fancy modes you will use twice. Every extra feature is one more failure point you cannot fix cheaply. If the machine's job is to wash clothes, it should wash clothes. If its job is to keep food cold, it should keep food cold. That's it. And if the salesperson tries to sell you convenience, ask one question. Will this feature still work after 5 years? And can it be replaced without replacing the whole machine? Watch how fast the conversation changes. Before you buy, look for the red flags. non-serviceable parts. But tubs sold as a full assembly, glued panels instead of screws, designs where the bearing is not replaceable. Everything described as a module instead of a part. You want screws. You want access. You want a machine that expects maintenance. You already know the fastest test. Pull up the exploded view. If where parts only exist inside giant sealed assemblies, walk away. You just audited the scam in 30 seconds. Look for the signs that a product was built to be kept alive. Simple controls. Mechanical timers when possible. Service manuals that exist. Parts that can be ordered individually. A design that does not require replacing half the machine for one worn item. And here's the punchline that people hate hearing. A good used unit from a good era can be a smarter purchase than a shiny new premium model. Because in this market, old often means honest engineering. Now, if you already own a modern unit, you're not doomed. But you have to treat it like it is fragile. On for washers, don't overload, level it. Clean the filter if it has one. Run occasional cleaning cycles. Keep the door gasket clean. For fridges, keep coils clean if accessible. Use a surge protector if power is unstable. Don't block vents. Keep seals clean. For ovens, avoid self-clean as a habit. Clean manually and gently. Self-clean should be a rare emergency, not a monthly ritual. These tips won't fix the scam, but they can delay the moment you meet it. If you want it even simpler, well, here are the 3 safest categories. 1. Simple models with minimal electronics. Think knobs, not screens. Physical buttons, not touch panels. Basic washers with simple cycles. Basic fridges without a giant display. Ovens that still work even if a smart feature dies. 2. Models designed for repair, not sealed modules. Units with screws and access panels. Parts sold individually, not only as giant assemblies. If a bearing, pump, or board fails, you can replace that part without replacing half the machine. 3. Older, well-built units from before the sealed everything era. Not ancient, just from an era when repairs were expected. A clean, well-maintained older unit can outlive a shiny new premium model because it was built around a service, not sealing. And let me translate that into plain shopping language. You want knobs, not screens. You want parts, not assemblies. You want screws, not glue. This is not about saving $50, it's about breaking the cycle. A machine you cannot reasonably repair is not a product. It's a temporary rental with a hidden expiration date. They want you to buy twice. You want to repair once. That is the real conflict. So stop buying the glow. Do the exploded view test every time because it reveals what the showroom hides. Buy access, buy screws, buy parts, buy repairability. And the next time you stand in that aisle, do not look at the screen. Look for the service manual. Look for the exploded parts diagram. Look for the honesty in the build. Because choosing a dumb machine today is the smartest move you can make. It is a move toward independence and away from the landfill. If you want to see which other industries are using the exact same trick, watch this video next.